Yeah.
Hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, yeah. So that kind of took us into after the morning after the Lynx exit interview, where Napheesa Collier decided to show up with a piece of paper, and she opened the bitch up and was like, "I have this here prepared statement, and
Oh,
I'm gonna get into it."
so
So
you said it's a piece of paper. In retrospect, that was more like a flamethrower, and she was ready to set this bitch off. She's ready to burn this mother down.
yes,
Oh my goodness.
she
Oh boy.
she launched a full scale attack on the league's leadership, where she called it tone deaf and dismissive. She accused the league of suppressing the criticism, talking about fines for outspoken players or coaches rather than addressing the issues. She criticized the handling of officiating, the injuries, the player welfare, and saying the league's been negligent. Her biggest and probably smartest thing was looping in Caitlin Clark and weaponizing Caitlin Clark's fans against the WNBA, who already don't need much to go against the league. Um, Basically said in a private conversation, Cathy Englebert told her that stars like Caitlin Clark, and to a lesser extent, like Paige and Angel, they were asking about how do you plan to compensate them, for the fan base and the revenue they're generating for the league. Cathy basically said that they should be on their knees in gratitude for the platform that the WNBA gives them, and their ability to land big endorsement deals would not exist without the WNBA. Caitlin should be, in particular, should be grateful she makes $16 million off the court, because without the platform, she wouldn't make anything. Then, furthermore, she said, this is a turning point in the league. She said she's not going to stay silent. Basically, the refereeing in this shit sucks. Like, injuries affect, or the refing is affecting the injury rate. The league is vehemently disagreeing, and she basically said we have the best players, the best fans, and the worst leadership in the world. And I was like, Nafisa,
Don't do it.
like, just look at the White House real quick,
Damn it.
and then you know I know what the point was. Let's reel it in a tad.
Something. Nafisa, some things are bigger than basketball. Yes,
Yeah,
I guess. Yes,
yeah.
yes, yes. I knew you were going to do that. Um,
But
the
that,
thing that stuck out to me was her turn for her use of turning what was it? It's the word sustainable, and saying like,
yes,
hey, she talked about like this the health, the growth of I'm gonna say promotion of this league
the
is about
promotion.
sustainability, but there's no sustainability the way we're running stars ragged and leaving them susceptible to injuries with like the consistent foul or refereeing. It can cause injuries or whatever else, right? And like I thought that was a really deft way of her pointing out that like yeah, like my season ended with me on in a scooter because I got ran over after someone stripped me of the ball. Um, so yeah, like I thought that she absolutely she and then what made it worse, Kathy's response
Oh yeah, Cathy's response
where
was
she
just
did
like you.
she
You
where
know,
she's
I have a theory on why she responded like that, because she
because
doesn't.
she can't say she lied
She exactly. She can't say she lied, but she also
because it's
doesn't
gonna
want
be a
to.
huge thing.
She
It's
doesn't want to paint herself as more of an enemy than
right,
she is, or whatever. She wants to just like,
right.
all
So
right, let's keep it calm, but it's already smoke here.
all right, so I've seen from a lot of the Caitlyn fan side about like they're still very upset like the way that Cathy presented or announced or notified Caitlyn she was winning Rookie of the Year compared to this year with Paige, where she was there in person for Paige,
Yep.
and I guess last year Caitlyn got a phone call, uh, uh, and people were upset about that, right? And keep in mind, like, there's this thing where we do with women where like women have to be like we weaponized we made them where they have to be I forgot the term I had made up for it, but it was like women have to be over the bar for nice. Like being nice ain't nice enough. You got to be the nicest person to ever nice. Otherwise, like you're a bitch. Like that's kind of how that's kind of how we weaponize this whole thing against women.
Hmm.
So like I talk about this a lot with people about like yeah, like a dude will be like, all right, you okay? Whatever else, cool. It's like no, but like women have to check in and have to stop and spend time with this person. Whatever else, when the dude is be like, are you good? You told me okay, all right. I'll check on you later again, but like I'm not gonna do more unless it's stuff like that. It's small little things like that. And like when it came to that, it was like Adam Silver don't go to none of these niggas' houses to be like, congratulations on Rookie of the Year. Like, I don't even know if they give them phone calls like that. They get publicized and put around on social media in that way. So it's like it's kind of bewildering to me, or not bewildering. It's kind of like this is the double standard. Like the niceness that women have to, or all the extra steps they have to take, and hoops they have to jump through to not get called a bitch. So, when it came to Cathy and a lot of this stuff, right, with the Caitlyn stuff from last year, all these conversations are happening around her, right? And also, this is her benefit to talk about, the league, the league, the league, the league. So I think she generally her strategy was, I'm not going to put Caitlyn on this pedestal because when I'm not in front of mics and I got to hear from a lot of people in amongst the community in the WNBA, I'm gonna get shit for this. She's aware of that. So then it comes. So now she's played it that way, and then Napheesa used that against her in that way. And I think I'm pretty sure they had a conversation, and those were not the verbatim words, right? So that's why she used that word characterize in that way. But she couldn't say mischaracterize because that'd be saying she's lying. But she's like, I'm disappointed the way she characterized me. Like, I didn't mean it that way or whatever else. Now it turns into that's her way of in legalese and company speak to be like, I didn't say it that way or whatever else, but this is how she feels. And it's like to the average person, they're not cutting it that
No.
granularly, so they're gonna be like, oh, so you're only upset that this conversation got out. It is like, well, she can't just come out and say like, Napheesa lying, y'all. That's the end of the quote. I'm out this bitch. She can't do that. So she looks terrible. And
I gotta say, man, it feels like Napheesa like
she
revealed
played this very well.
She revealed the
She
real
played this very
op.
well.
She revealed Caitlyn's real op, which is Cathy. It's not necessarily like, and I think everyone else has been following the lead of Cathy. So like the media,
everybody has been looking for someone like on the Caitlyn Clark standum. They've all been looking for villains, right? We were just talking about DJ, right? Cheryl Reeve, right?
It's the big one.
Face on it.
It's the big
Napheesa
one.
Put a face on it. You know how we talk about like these labor disputes, or whatever else between players and teams. How the teams always skate because like the players have the public faces. These people you put a face to the anger for why you're not getting your football or your basketball. Well, when this lockdown happened, Napheesa has done a very good job of being like when we're not playing this next season or whatever else, there will be a face on the labor side for once.
Yeah.
There will be a face to point blame at as opposed to these players are greedy and entitled. He's like, never mind the part where they should be making, almost twice as much as they're, or 2 or 3 times more than they're making right now. Never mind that. We're just mad we're not getting our sports. And we actually know who Kelsey Plum or Aisha Wilson or Paige Beckers is or Angel Reese. So we're going to direct our anger towards them as opposed to Cathy. So now they got Cathy, and now she finna wear it.
Like you look back at Cathy's track record, like
it's bad, all bad.
The Christine Brennan book points out last year when she was doing that speech, she did this whole entire speech about the growth of the league and everything, and went 27 minutes without mentioning Caitlyn Clark last year, and it was like, what? And then the guy on, I think it was 60 Minutes, he flat out asked her, he was like, I noticed every time we bring up Caitlyn Clark, you try to like add someone else in with her or whatever. He's like, what's up with that? Like, why do you do that? Essentially, she was like, well, what if she gets injured and all this other shit? And then people like bring these old clips back up, and it's just like, yo, what the fuck? Like, this is weird. Like, and then it's like for how I interpreted it. I'm a Caitlyn Clark stan. I'll admit it. I interpreted it as like Cathy, she wants
trying to run so far away from showing favoritism, and now it looks like it's hate.
I think she wants the actual credit for herself, as she's the one that's exploded the game. She's the one.
Mean, to be fair, she is the person in control. She is the person that is presiding over the new TV deals, and like the way that we give credit to Roger Goodell, even though we think he's been made to be the owner's cuck because he has, and then like Adam Silver, even though he's having a bad run of PR, like we still be like, well, he did increase the TV deals tremendously. Cathy ain't getting none of this credit. It is true.
And the thing is, like, as soon as Caitlyn comes in the door, who does everyone want to credit? Caitlyn, because rightfully, you look at the fucking metrics and the ratings and everything like that. Right. That's all like tied to her, like 9 times of anybody else, right? And it's like, no, like that's a threat to Cathy. So the way Cathy acts makes go ahead.
And this goes to the conversation that we've been having about the W's popularity rise over the last 3-4 years, where it's like, yes, the whole league has gotten more popular, games are more watched as this is going on, but like when Caitlin Clark shows up, like the ratings like fucking double.
So
and it's like it's A and B, but people always want to take the easy route of, and turn to a tongue conversation of it's either the chicken or the egg, and it's like nah, it's both.
And I think
people don't want to do that.
And I think with Cathy, like, basically when she does this, like, she probably uses all her contacts in the media. She sends the talking points out to put this out. And then, interacting around the league, I feel like everyone is taking their cue from Cathy. And that's why we've seen the resistance. That's why we've seen the lack of doing anything until now, until more players have gone down injured and hurt. Last year, oh man, we was raising hell. We was like, yo, they beating this girl up. Like they fucking her up. Like, and this shit is ridiculous. Like with some of these flagrant fouls and everything. And people like, y'all crazy, y'all babying this white girl and all this other shit. And I'm just like, I just use my eyes, bro. Like I don't. And now everybody's come. Like the game has come back to this side, James. The game. Oh, maybe they had a point about all this physicality and everything like that. It's like this is not gonna be that. That's the real unsustainable thing. And then if they want to talk about sustainability and stuff like that, how about you increase your fucking rosters from 12 to 15? But Cathy has been on the record before saying that would not be in the. That wouldn't essentially make the league money, essentially. But it's like, you fool, if you have a deeper team, you can keep your stars upright. That automatically like makes your shit more valuable. What are you saying? Like, I don't know.
And I think there's also this part, right? She may be the commissioner of the WNBA, but how many of these teams are also owned by NBA owners?
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, the commissioners work for the ownership, and it's like, yeah, a lot of these teams are still in the situation where they're like, this is not the A side of my basketball, portfolio. This is the B thing. I don't care about it as much. I'm going to cut corners and skimp when I can. And you're the commissioner, so your job is to go out there and eat the bullets and be our shield.
You want to know another conspiracy theory that's going around that might actually have a little bit of legs to it? Like, all right, and it kind of falls in line with what you're saying about the ownership groups and shit like that. Like, they was using this shit for tax write-offs. They wasn't really trying to fund this shit. And
now they got to put money into it.
And then Caitlyn exploded this shit, and then it's like, fuck, you done kicked in the door essentially to make people like see what's going on, and then it was like they were also they're money laundering too, like.
Right. So the Aces got a facility in the last 2 years. So did the Phoenix, and then the Sparks got one like just recently.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. All right. Meanwhile, we know what's happening with Chicago's facility. They ain't got one.
Yeah. Like, and then it's like,
what's their shit? What's their fucked up setup? I forgot what it is.
Oh, they're in like some damn.
It's almost like they're working at a record.
Yeah, it's a rec center or
some shit.
Yeah. And like also like the other thing about it was like they have to actually put money into this shit now.
Right.
And it's
they can't do this shit like they Donald Sterling back in the day with like I think it was it UCLA's
Yeah.
practices.
And also, like, this could be used for the ownership to be like, look at this commendable social justice thing I'm doing, essentially. Like, I fund a women's league, a women's sports team, different shit like that. Like, and it
Mhm.
don't really matter what they got going on. Like,
Now you really got to do it. They don't really want to do it.
there you
Yeah.
go. Like, that's like the long theory around this shit. And it's like Caitlyn, like
When,
all
when,
Caitlyn has done is be like, I love this league. I have loved this league since I was 5 years old. And I always wanted to be in this league and show up and then become a massive star. And she was not in the program. They didn't account for her. Like, and Cheryl or Christine Brennan's book, like I said in that message, is going to age like the Bible. Like, all the answers are going to be in there for all this shit that has happened.
it's not gonna age like the Bible. Just on the simple fact that there's a great chance that there won't be fucking humanity in 1,000 years. So how's it gonna age like the Bible? All this shit gonna be burnt up. Stop. That's why I was like, what are you talking?
Digital spaces.
Digital spaces. Yes.
Oh, that shit in the cloud.
When AI gains transcendence and leaves into the stars, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure. Outside of that, not a chance.
Bro, I'm telling you, like, she got all the answers in that shit to be like, all right, this league was totally unprepared. They were unprepared for a reason. Like, you remember that thing when it was like, yo, do y'all know what the fuck's going on? And you're like, yeah, this is gonna be the biggest thing since Maya Moore. Love Maya Moore. No. Like, it's different.
Hey, can you tell me more about the I guess that new TV deal they just got recently?
I
Or
really
added on
haven't
to
looked.
USA Network?
I haven't looked a ton into it, but
Do you know what like the bare bones basics are? Though.
no. Let me see.
Okay, never mind. We can skip it. Fuck it.
Network deal. Hold on. But yeah, Caitlyn responded to that today. To the Collier stuff in her press conference, but she didn't really say much. She basically was like people were basically banging on her to respond to this shit right away. If you know anything about Caitlin Clark, she typically controls her own messaging. Like, she'll pick a platform and do it. She'll be like, okay, I'm in Time Magazine. That's when I'll actually say something about something. But she did the exit interview and she was basically like, yeah, Collier raised a lot of valid points. She said she had not heard the stories that Collier was going to say ahead of time. Cathy has not reached out to her since. She said she pretty much, Fee said it all. And, she basically said everything about, the grateful stuff. She was like, she basically said it in a subtle way. She was like, the first time I had a endorsement deal was my freshman year of college with Hy-Vee, the greatest grocery store chain in the Midwest or some shit like that. Very disarming or whatever, but still sliding it in there or whatever. And, she basically talked about this is like the most important moment in WNBA history. She called on those in power to help shape a better future for the league. She says everything needs an overhaul as far as like the leadership, like on all the levels. And she still wants to, be in the WNBA. She wants to, basically make it better for girls coming after her. And I thought that it was interesting that Collier and Caitlin Clark have the same agent, but like she didn't communicate this with Caitlin at all. And I think there's another way to think about that. I think people kind of took the immediate, they just jumped on it like head on. I'm like, well, if she communicates it with Caitlyn, that kind of puts Caitlyn in it. This actually kind of, her just saying it on her own actually just leaves it strictly on Collier. Like, and it's like, Caitlyn's just like it's almost like, why am I in it if you're doing it like that? Like I don't need knowledge of this, so I don't have to lie for you when they ask me about it. I can just be like, nah, I didn't know that's her shit.
That's precisely what the agent's for. The agent is the middleman. Right? Like, hey, I don't need to talk to wrestler X. I just need to talk to Barry Bloom.
Yeah. It's interesting, man.
That's how that works.
And like, people have also brought up the counterpoint of like, why was Cathy so comfortable with Napheesa saying things like this? What kind of relationship? Who else they talking? Like, what made it so comfortable that y'all was having these negative conversations? What's y'all relationship like with this? What made
and
you
that's
so
what
comfortable to share it with you?
and that's what I'm getting at when I'm saying like when Cathy says the mischaracterization, like that's her only way of saying like I ain't saying exactly that, but that's how she took it.
Mm-hmm. So
Because
there's
you can't say anything about mischaracterization or lying because
she
then
you
it
crossing
turns
a
from
black
World
woman
War.
in public.
You go straight to World War Four. Ain't even three. Just go to four.
You know, you get the relation. She be like, the people like she called this black woman a liar, like in front of everybody. Like it's like Cathy was trying to avoid
Right.
all that. So
Right.
smart on her for doing that, but
Right. But to people that ain't speaking, people that don't speak in public quotes that watch sports the way we do and all this other shit or whatever else, they're not aware of like what that wording was meant to be, as opposed to you just realize, oh, she didn't deny what she said. So clearly, she granted me Napheesa Collier and said she's lucky she's lucky I don't have her on her knees, like barking like a dog, like she's Trish Stratus to Vince McMahon. Like, nah, relax. I'm pretty sure. If I had to bet money or whatever else, I'm pretty sure Cathy, she did not say that actually or anything like that. She did not say those exact words. There's no way. There's
I
no
mean,
way.
she
You
said
can't even. You can't even do that. You can't even do that just off of the possibility that someone may be wearing a wire or someone may be recording the conversation. So you can't even say that. Like we're behind. Yeah, you're in my office. We're behind closed doors. But you may be wearing a wire. I can't say that.
I do. I also have the feeling like I don't feel like Napheesa Collier would just like make no shit up like this either. It was just unprompted.
No. I think that she said something far more mild or whatever else, and like that's how Napheesa actually took it. So she wrote it down. What I'm saying is I don't think Napheesa's lying, and I don't think Cathy actually said that though. That's how the communication game works. Like you can say things to people, and they take it way further and more harshly than you even intend.
Mm-hmm.
And next thing you know, weeks, days, months later, or whatever else, they go on their exit press conference and they air your ass out. They air your ass out like a Big 12 game.
Yeah, man, it's a lot, dog. It's a lot going on in the WNBA world. It's big drama, and
Yeah, because there were so little odds on it before, and they still don't know how to handle more odds being on them. So they kind of act more human and less robotic, and they do shit like this. They're like people were saying like she has to go because like there's no way someone of Napheesa Collier's stature in the NBA and would say this about Adam Silver, and I'm like, yeah, because all these guys have been trained since they were like 13 or 14 to not
not say
ever do
shit.
anything like this. And also the money's so good, like there will be no revolution. The money, that's the thing, like the
They're fighting for their revolution right now in the WNBA.
right.
It has to be
Right.
smoke.
Like that's what I'm getting at. Like when you're making that much money, like you're not a revolutionary. Or you're not gonna buck for and fight for X, Y, and Z. You get paid so much. You get paid more money than God. They're getting paid. They're getting paid well for the average human being, but not for a major pro athlete in this country, apparently speaking. So like, yeah, they have more reason to be like, hey, fuck this. If this shit goes up, I gotta get a job. Like this NBA shit go out the window. Them dudes ain't never gotta work again unless they blow their money. So they're more likely to. They're
Fully
more likely
possible.
to. Okay. Besides Zion and Anthony Edwards, fine. But you get my point. It's like unless they're doing stupid shit with their money, they're gonna be their whole family tree's generationally wealthy. Like that's not necessarily the case for the W people, except for like Caitlin Clark and maybe like Angel Reese and Paige Beckers. We're talking about 3 people.
Yeah, and like
Maybe Asia.
Collier
Maybe
too at this point. But
does she have a shoe deal?
I mean, she started Unrivaled, so like they.
Well, that'll be when that money will be coming in.
Yeah,
yes,
they lit.
And so we'll throw Brianna Stewart there too because she signed
Yeah.
Puma. I ain't seen a single Puma shoe for her.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, so like it's
Look, UConn getting more generational wealth, huh?
yeah.
Mm.
Look, I told you. I told you someone.
Interesting.
Look, I told you keep eyes open on UConn. I done ruined it for you.
Mm, mm. No, he ain't rooting for me, but I just point out like they'll be good post Gino. That's all I'm saying. They'll be good post Gino.
Stupid. Um, yeah, man. So